and this might be a game that might end up being decided by Dark Archons and Mind Control. Neither player looks like they're interested in making the switch to carrier. I think any player trying to make that switch would realize that it's a fatal mistake. Thus far, I feel that in the battles that have taken place, Stork has probably come out on top in the middle of the map. Bisu, though, holding his defense, hanging on in this game. You do feel more that Bisu is hanging on rather than an equal battle going on between the two players. Bisu, though, does have does have 3 High Templar as well as 2 Archons in his army. I'm not sure how many Stork has. Stork putting up a lot of photon cannons. Obviously, later game, those photon cannons are going to be crucial as the minerals run dry. We have seen that happen before on Loki. Between Protoss versus Protoss players, I think it was Shine, or was it TT Shine versus I'm not sure who it was, and Bisu now just scouting that extra expansion that Stork scouting that expansion that Bisu was putting up. Bisu now maneuvering around, trying to go in, trying to change the momentum of the game, trying to become the aggressor now. He has been defending for the last couple of times, and Bisu has given himself position on that hill above Stork's Natural Expo. I don't think Stork will mind that too much, and Stork had set up a couple of photon cannons as well as a pylon just at the north there, preventing Bisu from taking that expansion. So Bisu is just killing that out while he cuts off Stork's reinforcements. And again, Bisu seems to have more storms there. Stork taking huge damage from Bisu's storms on that bridge, and Bisu definitely giving himself. And again, Bisu trying to get good position up on that ramp. Again, storm going off from both players. Stork conserved his storm till later on, but I think Stork got a better storms off all over Bisu's units, and but Stork not able to take that bridge. Bisu's forces hold again. I do feel Stork has got as many forces as Bisu, if not slightly more, right now, and Bisu. But it's just impossible to tell, guys. I'm sorry, I cannot say. Both players just battling away, and there's nothing between them. There's a hair's breadth of a difference between these two players right now. If I had to give anyone an advantage, if I just absolutely had to, if I had no choice, I would have probably given Stork a little bit of an advantage. But I think he's expanding a little bit faster than Bisu. I think he's got a little bit more units on the ground. I think he's killing a little bit more units in those crucial battles. But Bisu definitely has got a good position as well now. He's positioned on that hill above Stork's Natural Expo yet again, and Stork is going to be forced into a defensive stance. Bisu's standing army seems to be slightly inferior to Stork's larger standing army, but that's probably because Bisu's forces are spread out a little bit more. Stork has managed to accumulate about 5 Archons, which is considerable, considering the 7 Archons, Bisu with only 4, so definitely you would have to say that Stork has a superior army on the ground compared to Bisu, but Bisu has more than enough to control his half of the map at this point in time, and to retake that pylon and photon cannon that Stork has set up in the rear has slowed Bisu down no end in terms of getting that last expansion up, so Stork a little bit ahead in that respect, and Stork now pushing forward towards the south. Most of Bisu's forces are in the north, so Stork is dividing up his forces a little bit, and I think he's just doing that because Bisu sent a few zealots to try and harass that expansion that Stork is setting up. Bisu with about 4 or 5 zealots, and Stork is just trying to surround those zealots, and Stork will be able to hurt those zealots. I'm not sure if Bisu will be able to escape them. They are speed upgraded, so they're probably going to be able to run away. Stork not managing that. Stork now building a Stargate, probably for an Arbiter, and probably going to go for an Arbiter Tribunal next. And Bisu's already got his Arbiter, Bisu's already got that Stargate up, I think. I think that was Bisu's, was that? Yeah, it was definitely Bisu's. Bisu's already got his Arbiter Tribunal up and his Stargate up, so Bisu ahead in terms of tech. And Bisu now attacking Stork's Expo at the south with a handful of units. He's trying to break that cannon defense. He's managed to take out 2 of the cannons. The cannons are getting attacked as they're being built, but Stork's defense, I think, here might hold. He's going to be slowed down a little bit, and Stork's sent reinforcements down to kill off Bisu's units. And Bisu just again, Stork now microing that Dragoon away. That's a little bit careless, but Bisu's attacking force, Bisu's skirmishing force getting taken out there by Stork. And now a Dark Templar comes into the fray of Bisu's. Bisu with a Dark Templar trying to slow that expansion down, but Stork does have 3 photon cannons there that are going to allow him to defend that base. And Bisu now going down that ramp, and Storm goes off over Stork forces. It looks like there's going to be meeting of the 2 main forces of the 2 players here as well. Bisu doesn't have as many forces, though Stork has a superior force, but Bisu with a smaller force, with his main force hiding up at the top of that ramp, fighting for better position. Bisu's forcing Stork to fight with his forces positioned at the top of the ramp, and that's brilliant play by Bisu. But Stork hasn't gotten a lot of storms off on Bisu's main forces. Bisu got the first storms off, but now Stork is storming all of Bisu's Dragoons on that ramp, so that's going to hurt Bisu a lot, and Bisu forced to move down that ramp, and therefore Stork is going to force Bisu to move down that ramp, and Bisu forced to move back, and Bisu's going to try and position himself at another ramp. Bisu's got reinforcements arriving, though Stork's forces are dying, and Bisu looks like he's got a more superior force on the ground, and Bisu now with that Arbiter, Stork storming again. Bisu's got an Arbiter over his forces. Stork has an Observer though, so that's not going to bother him too much. He can still see Bisu's units. If Bisu focuses that Arbiter, Stork might find himself in a little bit of trouble, and Stork losing this battle. Most of Stork's units wiped out. Stork loses that battle. Stork's reinforcements are arriving, and Stork has a Dark Archon. Stork has got a Dark Archon, and the crowd just cheering and going wild for that Dark Archon. Bisu doesn't have one. Maybe Stork is going to try and mind control that Arbiter. That would be really fun to see if Stork does that. But Stork with the Dark Archon and the Dark Templar, but Stork doesn't have an Arbiter, and Bisu now pumping from two Stargates. Stork yet to get his Arbiter out, and I'm not sure what one Dark Archon is going to do in a ground battle such as this. If Bisu had a couple of carriers, it might have swung the game in Stork's favor. And Stork now in a huge disadvantage. A lot of his probes trapped there behind those cannons. He's not paying attention to that, and it would be unfortunate for him if he lost the game in this manner. He should realize what's going on there and kill off one of those cannons with the probes if he has to. But he's concentrating so much on the game that he doesn't realize that he's losing the mining at that base. Bisu not affected himself, and it would be unfortunate for Stork if he lost the game because of that. He's got too many photon cannons there. Those probes are unable to reach that nexus. Stork has to realize this. He has to realize that he's mining a long distance from that mineral line, and that's going to give him an advantage as the game progresses. But hopefully the game won't be decided by something as asinine as that. Bisu definitely, I think, has scouted the fact that Stork has got that Dark Archon. Bisu with the Arbiter. Stork has Dark Templar. I don't think Bisu has too many Dark Templar himself. And Bisu once again positioned himself. Bisu's positioning has been spot on in every battle in this game. He's positioned himself at the top of the ramp. Even though his forces have been slightly inferior, he's been able to equalize the game by fighting more intelligently. And Stork being forced to be the aggressor because Bisu's happy to play defensively for this up to this point in time. And Stork not trying to get the Force Storm in this time. Bisu with the Arbiter, and looks like Stork's forces are getting stormed a lot more than Bisu's, and that Observer get taken out, and the second Observer get taken out. This time Stork manages to storm all of Bisu's forces, and I'm not sure where Stork's Dark Archon was. I'm not sure if Stork has any Observers left. Stork looks like he's got a superior force on the ground there compared to what Bisu has. Maybe that's because a lot of Bisu's units are hidden by the Arbiter, and Bisu once again retreats to the safety of that ramp. Stork pulls back, but Stork has now taken that kind of top half of the base of the map, and he's going to be able to, it looks like he had a superior force on the ground. Maybe it's because Bisu invested resources in those two Arbiters that Stork was able to get, and maybe he just had an economic advantage. But Stork has taken the top half of the base, so this is going to allow him to attack Bisu's Expo. Bisu countering. Stork sending his probes out. This is I'm not sure what Stork is doing here. Those probes going down the middle of that, maybe just to slow Bisu down a little bit. Bisu does have an Arbiter. I'm not sure if Stork does. If Stork had an Arbiter, he'd be able to recall and defend after he kills his Expo. That Expo is definitely going down of Bisu's. Bisu, though, is attacking Stork. Stork has a few photon cannons. Bisu has a slightly inferior force on the ground, but I don't think that's going to bother Bisu. Stork trying to kill off those probes as they escape, and Stork now leaving that Expo and moving out, and looks like both players are just going to go for the kill here. Both players attacking each other. Neither player interested in going back to defend their forces. I suppose Stork feels he has enough of an advantage that he can allow himself to do that, and he has killed that Expo, and he's now taken control of the middle of the map. Bisu is still finishing off Stork's Expo, and Stork needs to cut off Bisu's units there and kill them off before they can retreat if he wants to give himself a decisive advantage. And Stork now moving down to the south, so he has allowed that base to fall. That base has fallen, but he's happy to defend his other expansion. So really, both players trading knife cuts, trading superficial wounds there. Both players killing each other's latest Expo, but that's not going to bother either player too much. But it did look like Stork had the advantage in terms of unit numbers on the ground after that last battle. Bisu very cleverly, realizing that he would not be able to defend that Expo, decided to counter. And Stork, if he had an Arbiter and he had recall, he would have been able to recall his units there and prevent Bisu from taking that expansion, and would have given himself a game-winning advantage. But you still feel that Stork is still a little bit ahead. He still seems to have a superior force on the ground. Bisu with a couple more Arbiters, and those Arbiters were up for longer than Stork, so that might be the deciding factor if Bisu can get a stasis field going, because his Arbiter, and Bisu with the stasis field, Bisu stasis a lot of Stork's units, and Bisu also catches Stork's Arbiter in the stasis field, and this is horrible for Stork. Stork in huge trouble here. Bisu might be able to win the game here. Storm goes off on all of Stork's units. Stork is losing this battle. Stork in trouble. Half of Stork's forces are in a stasis field, the rest of his forces are dying, and Bisu is going to be able to surround Stork's forces and kill him off now. This is going to be GG, guys. This is going to be GG. There's nothing Stork can do. Bisu's Arbiter is proving crucial, and I just said that a second before it happened. I did mention that Bisu's Arbiters had been out for longer. Stork trying to bring his forces back, but he doesn't. If he had a couple of storms, he would be able to do something, but all of his forces are surrounded by Bisu's. Bisu's Arbiter getting stasis field by Stork just before he could do anything. And if these units of Stork dies, they're going to be GG. Bisu's Arbiter and Stork's units coming alive and dying as they do. His Observer dies as well, and the remaining straggling forces of Stork get taken out, and Stork's Arbiter is going to die as well, and Bisu is now going to win this game. Bisu's got a large army. That was brilliant by Bisu. Those Arbiters giving him the advantage he needed. His energy was up milliseconds before Stork's was. He was ahead because he had those two Arbiters up. He had actually 3 Arbiters. He was able to cast 3 stasis fields, and that was enough to win him the game. Stork relying more on the superior ground force, Bisu relying more on the tech, and the tech paid off for Bisu.